This episode is brought to you by FX's The Beauty Official Podcast. Join host Evan Ross Katz on the official podcast for FX's hottest new series, The Beauty, taking you behind the scenes with its amazing stars as they discuss the show's most jaw-dropping moments. Featuring Evan Peters, Anthony Ramos, Jeremy Pope, Ashton Kutcher, Rebecca Hall, Bella Hadid, Meghan Trainor, Isabella Rossellini, Jessica Alexander, and Ari Grainer. Search FX's The Beauty wherever you listen to podcasts.
What up? Welcome to Interview Style, our daily dose of whatever it is we want to talk about. Today we're talking about great movies burdened by terrible titles. Iris, go.
This Interview Style is just your excuse to talk about the murder of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford.
It's not. I love that title.
This section is your excuse to talk about what movie?
Well, I have to admit some resistance going into a movie that we've talked about already called Hamnet, which is a terrible title. And every time I saw the title, Hamnet, it made me not want to watch whatever movie that was. I've avoided lots of movies based on terrible titles. Unfortunately, I think that part of me, some of them are international titles in other languages and things that I'm resistant to. But probably the most famous example is The Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah.
Is based on Stephen King's novella Rita Hayworth and The Shawshank Redemption.
Mm-hmm.
Terrible title, and it legitimately affected the box office performance of a heavily nominated movie and rated by our IMDb users as the best movie of all time. The Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah.
It's hard for me because I read the novella and was one of the few people who saw it in the theater and was totally jazzed, as you can hear in our discussion at whatever movies.com or wherever you get podcasts. But it really hurt the movie, and I was wondering will people see Hamnet or The Reader when Kate Winslet was nominated? Because it's just such a terrible nothing title.
That was my favorite. I think it was probably one of my favorite lines of the Golden Globes when Nikki Glaser was talking about reader comments and how people were like, "Isn't it spelled Hamlet?"
Which in itself is kind of a spoiler, don't you think?
Well,
because I did not make that association before. I was like, "Oh, like Hamlet."
You're so spoiler sensitive. Maybe. I mean, there are lists of bad movie titles. But what I think you're getting at are good movies that have bad movie titles and what a title actually means in marketing, promoting, raising the visibility of a film.
The Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford, a movie that I love. Brad Pitt said he wouldn't do that movie if the title was changed. And sure enough, they tried to change it, but he was like, "No, man, I got it in writing that if I'm going to do this movie, you can't change the title." Did it suffer? Probably. No, certainly nobody calls it that. Maybe, if they're lucky, The Assassination of Jesse James.
Is Snakes on a Plane a bad movie title?
No. Snakes on a Plane is the only reason that people went to see that movie. If it was called Terror Flight or The Flight of Fangs or something, nobody would see it. Snakes on a Plane is such a good title, and I'm not kidding here. That title is the reason that movie exists. Someone came up with the title, they love it, and whoever was pitching it, the rest of the room loved it, and they made that movie.
What about Jiggly?
It's Gigli, and the fact that I know that and am somehow defending it is just unacceptable. I never saw that movie.
Why not? Because of its title?
Because it has a dumb title. And I'm not lured in, number one, by romantic comedy, number two, at the time, by Kevin Smith, and number three, J-Lo acting, prominently as one of the main stars or whatever, wasn't enough of a draw for me to go see a poorly titled movie.
And wasn't that also the end of Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez?
One of the times.
Aww. But you still believe in love.
I still believe in love, but those guys are personalities, really strong ones, and they have their strengths for sure. I don't know that I ever saw that and was like, oh, that makes sense.
All right. I've got a good one for you.
Go.
Edge of Tomorrow.
Problem is, I was like, Tom Cruise movie, Emily Blunt movie, looks good, we'll check it out. I agree, a pretty ambiguous, terrible title. And Doug Liman and team and Tom Cruise were like, we know that that's a bad title, so we're going to try to change it. After I loved that movie and was the last movie that I saw 5 times in the theater, then I was resistant. Because I'm like, no, this is the movie that was in theaters, remember? It's not a new direct-to-video Tom Cruise, Emily Blunt movie. It's great. Edge of Tomorrow. Not the infinitely worse, in my humble opinion, Live, Die, Repeat. That's just terrible. Nobody on the entirety of the internet can come up with a better title. Did you know that the original manga, is that how you say that?
Manga, yeah.
Of that movie is now available to view. It's called, and I quote directly, "All You Need Is Kill." That's stupid. This movie is saddled by 3 dumb titles. It totally wins this discussion.
And does that also mean Iris for the win?
Iris for the win. Thanks. Love you.
Hey guys, it's your girl Yasia. I want to share some really exciting news with you. I just dropped my first ever single, Spell on You, of my upcoming debut EP, Devil's Room, on RM Records. It's simply devilicious. Check out Spell on You wherever you listen to music. Bye for now.
I never thought I'd fall in love like this. It's time to close the chapter, but I think I needed this.
Electric acid.